The Sahara. The Sahara is in northern Africa and it is pretty big, 9 million square kilometers. As a little example, the Great Western Erg, which is a region of big sand dunes of Sahara, that is 1% of the whole Sahara, and that has the size of South Carolina. Now the Great Western Erg, that would be one place of the Sahara. Around 20%, I heard also 10% of the Sahara are with sand. The Great Western Erg, for example, there's sand. Other regions where can be rocky plateaus, gravel, or dry salt lakes, where mirages can be seen with the air going over it in the air, hot air. The Great Western Erg, they are in Algeria, northern Africa, and there are also other countries of Egypt and Libya and Morocco, Tunisia, and way more countries. And in Nigeria, a person can drive from the Atlas Mountains down to Lagoon, and then one can see these Great Western Erg, these big sand dunes. They can be 120 meters high, and they can move for 30 meters per year. The wind can blow from one direction, and the sand is going over and falling when on the other side down. That can be if one is moving. These would be Barshans, which can be also smaller. And the wind is going from one side and it's going always to one side, and they can look a bit like a flock of geese flying in the air, all behind each other. Now, but these big dunes in the Great Western Erg, Erg means land of sand. And they can also be in different directions. They can be pyramidically together on one side. They can also make long, they can be side to side like that. And different things like waves, like the ocean, smooth starting and then a sharp crest. And other things are also in the Sahara. Also one other thing with sand or dust would be that there can be the wind making the sand or dust a bit into the air, 2, 3, 4 meters high or something can it be, for example. And some people see it and some people say that there is something supernatural about it and call them ghouls. And another thing which can be in the Sahara are sandstorms. There can be big storm, and because there can be in some places a lot of sand or other things quite loose, and the wind can come from one direction also, and there can be a big sandstorm. They can be 500 kilometers wide and also more than a kilometer high into the air. The lowest part, these are gravel and thicker sand, and then it gets very, very thin, and very high in the air there is this very thin sand, and it goes into every crest everywhere in the fine sand. And the wind is then loud, so a person inside of a sandstorm doesn't hear much part of a loud wind, and it's also pretty dark. Some animals, the camels for example, they are adapted a bit to that. They have a thick hairy coat which protects them against the heat and also the cold, and they can also go quite long without water. They have toes which have their feet with 2 toes so that they don't sink into the sand and so on. And they can close their nostrils against the sand and so on. They can close their eyes and they have also thick lids and bushy eyelashes against the sand. And that is the Sahara. But another thing was also said in the book today was when with 15,000 years ago, the world was a little bit differently. There was a lot of ice age. A lot of ice was over Europe, Asia, and North America. And in the Sahara, there were lush areas of grassland, many animals living there, herds grazing, and the humans living then there would then also hunt there and so on. And they depicted that then in cave paintings. When the ice age had ended, the ice has retreated, and the currents of wind are no longer bringing the precipitation with the rain to the Sahara, but more northwards to Europe. And then it got dry there and desert. And Albert Camus, an Algerian novelist, called it a land of which is useless but has irreplaceable beauty. And that is according to Rupert O. Matthews' The Atlas of Natural Wonders from 1989 on the pages 8, 9, 10 and 11. The positions and views expressed are the ones of a source and don't necessarily align with my own or with the ones of the entities spoken of.